52 from December 14, 2020.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Brown, Dorans, favor, Remy Tyson, President Harden.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Regular meeting number 1 of 2021 will now come to order. May we have the playing of the national anthem?
One moment, sir.
Sure. President Pro Tem Liz Brown, would you please lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Council Member. Council is appreciative to have Bishop Hezekiah Martin, the senior pastor of Southfield Missionary Baptist Church, to open us up this session this year for Council tonight. Bishop, welcome back to Council.
Thank you, President Harden, to City Council members and your respective staff. I'm honored to share with you this evening. Let us pray. Dear Lord, I come before you with a humble and grateful heart. As we face these uncertain times, we are blessed because you, O Lord, have not changed. You are the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. We're grateful for your overwhelming kindness as well as your grace and mercy. The last year, while facing a global pandemic, you revealed in us a resilience to have energy beyond exhaustion, vision over burdens, and a sentiment to keep the faith. We thank you, O Lord, for the men and women who serve our city in leadership roles, who give so much that every individual may have a better quality of life in our city. Father, I'm asking that you will provide a fresh vision and creative ideas through our city council. Allow debate, but provide a spirit of forgiveness and unity. We need their strength of their voices. We need their insight through complications and controversy. But Lord, please capture their hearts and give them the wisdom to make the right choices and the integrity to stand up for all mankind. Lord, it's through our prayer that through their service, that our city will be safe and that the poor will be helped and it'll be a reflection of the spirit of excellence. We also pray for their families, and we ask that you will surround them with your divine protection while they make the sacrifice to help make Columbus better. These things we ask in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen and amen. Thank you, Bishop, for joining us this evening. Clerk, please call the roll.
Brown, Dorans, favor, Remy Tyson, President Harden.
Can I get a motion to dispense with the reading of the journal?
So moved.
Second.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Brown, Dorans, favor, Remy Tyson, President Harden.
This week's communications received by the city clerk's office are listed on the agenda and will be published in the city bulletin. Are there any other communications to come before the record?
Not at this time.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Are there any resolutions by members of council, starting with President Pro Tem?
None from me, Council President.
Welcome back to Councilmember. Councilmember Mitch Brown. Thank you, sir. Councilmember Dorrance.
Thank you, Council President. Just one quick announcement. The Public Utilities Committee will be holding a virtual public hearing next Wednesday, February 3rd at 5 p.m. on the very exciting proposed code changes to Title 11 regarding sewer use regulations and stormwater control practices. It's going to be a barn burner. And if folks want to participate or attend that hearing, we'll be releasing details from my office about how folks can testify and tune into that hearing. That is all I have tonight, President Harden. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Favor.
Thank you, Council President Harden. No resolutions, but just a brief announcement. On Wednesday, January 27th at 5:30 p.m., I will be facilitating our next Reimagining Public Safety Town Hall, along with Councilmember Tyson on the topic of alternative crisis response models. Residents can join us for the conversation on Facebook, YouTube, and CTV. That is all I have.
Looking forward to that town hall, Councilmember. Councilmember Remy.
Thank you very much, Council President Harden. I have two announcements this evening. I would like to take this opportunity to give an update on the Council Residential Districting Commission. Applications to serve on the commission were due this past Thursday, the 21st, and we received a total of 123 applications. I'm excited and encouraged by the amount of interest from the community. The applicants represent a very diverse group of residents from all different parts of the city who want to serve. By Friday, February 5th, we will announce a short list of candidates who will be invited to a virtual public hearing on Wednesday, February 10th, to provide a 3-minute synopsis on why they wish to serve on the commission. More information will be available about this public hearing, and that'll be forthcoming. If you have any questions about the process or want to learn more, you can visit www.columbus.gov/districtingcommission or email crdc@columbus.gov. Last, I would like to remind everyone that I will be hosting the final Reimagining Safety Town Hall on Tuesday, February 2nd from 5:30 to 7, where we will focus on diversity and recruiting within the Division of Police. This town hall will be live streamed via CTV at www.columbus.gov. Viewers may also tune in live by visiting Columbus City Council's Facebook page and YouTube pages. Want to wish everybody a happy new year, even though it's the 25th. We are back up and running. Excited to be here with my colleagues and look forward to a very robust agenda this year. Thank you, Council President. That's all I have this evening.
Thank you, Councilmember Remy. Councilmember Tyson.
Good evening. And yes, I do have a resolution this evening, and I have resolution number 0010X-2021, and it is to recognize the month of January as the National Mentoring Month in the City of Columbus, and to celebrate the leadership of the Delta Omicron Sigma Alumni Chapter and the Iota Nu Sigma Alumni Chapter of the Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated, and to thank them for their commitment to mentoring and improving the lives of young ladies in Central Ohio. And whereas relationships with caring mentors offers youth valuable support, guiding them toward making positive, healthy life choices. Whereas mentoring programs offer effective student interventions, improving student attendance and behavior, academic performance, increasing high school graduation rates, and in a significant number of instances culminating into college attendance. And whereas youth mentorship helps young people improve their self-esteem, enhance their relationships with their family members and peers, ultimately helping them to feel better, have a better sense of connectedness with their community and their schools. Whereas Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated is a national collegiate sorority incorporated in 1922. It is home for thousands of collegiate and professional women looking for a place to share inspiring life experiences, learn new things, conquer life challenges, thrive in society, and uplift the community through sisterhood, scholarship, and service. The dynamic women of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated have built and sustained a well-known and highly respected reputation for leading positive change with more than 500 chapters in the United States, the U.S. Virgin Islands, the Bahamas, Bermuda, Canada, Germany, South Korea, and the United Arab Emirates. Whereas the Roar Club is an affiliate of the Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated, the Roar Club consists of a diverse group of young ladies between the ages of 12 and 18 who demonstrate high scholastic standards. The Roar Clubs are organized, maintained, and sponsored by the local graduate chapters within each of our geographic regions of the sorority. Whereas the program consists of training and guidance in education, leadership skills, community service, vocation, fine arts, and social affairs. The program also provides the young women with the energy, support, and commitment and encouragement of the members of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated to help them develop and succeed in their life endeavors. Whereas Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated further seeks to inspire, encourage, and challenge rowers to advance themselves in the terms of their talents and future careers. The sorority also strives to assist rowers in developing positive, effective, and healthy attitudes towards life and society. Whereas January has been designated a National Mentoring Month, a time dedicated to focusing national attention on the need for mentors to ensure brighter futures for young people. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Council of the City of Columbus that this council does hereby recognize January as a National Mentoring Month in the City of Columbus and celebrates the leadership of the Delta Omicron Sigma Alumni Chapter and Iota Nu Sigma Alumni Chapter of the Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated, and thank them for their commitment of mentoring and improving the lives of young ladies in our community. I also just want to say that this is so important based upon the work of the Commission on Black Girls, that our girls certainly want to be involved in programs that the Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated has certainly shown that they have been focused on moving our girls forward, and our girls absolutely want to be empowered and be a part of these organizations. And so if there are no questions or comments, I move for adoption.
Is there a second?
Second.
Please call the roll.
Brown, Dorans, favor, Remy Tyson, President Harden.
Adopted.
Thank you. And now I have a few speakers who will share information regarding this resolution. And the first speaker will be Dr. Tawana Black, and she is Dr. Tawana Black and then Ms. Deandra Harrison, who are both representing the Delta Omicron Sigma chapter of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority. And then we'll hear from Tia Goodlet and Linda Ferguson from the Iota Nu Sigma chapter of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority. And then we'll also hear from, I think, Mia Goodlet, who is a rower and who will share her school she attends and her experience in being in a rower. And so Dr. Tawana Black, the floor is yours.
Greetings, City Council members and respected staff. My name again is Tawana Black. I am the president of my respected chapter. We too have a rower online, Miss Amani Woods, who is a senior and affiliated with our chapter. Both chapters are affiliated with the Rower Club since 1939. We've had chapters established. And so we strive to give experience and exposure to young ladies between the age of 12 and 18. We've had chapters or members as large as 18 to 20 down to 7 to 10 members. We continue to grow our membership as girls matriculate, and hopefully they move on to bigger and better things to become a part of our international graduate chapter. My soror and sister, Deandra Harrison, is our active advisor for our rower club. And as I said, Miss Amani Wood, who is a senior, graduating this year as a member of our rower club. Amani, would you like to say a few things about your experience with the rower club?
Yes, I'm actually a junior. I graduate next year. But I just feel like the being a part of the rower club, it just provides you with the tools and the mindset that you need. It lets you know that there's people there for you, not even just the people a part of your club, like as far as like people my age, but I know if I had a problem, I could go to the sorors and they would help me to the best of their ability. It's just like a big family, and it really does. It's more than just like strolling or what comes to mind. It's really like it's a deeper bond and it's a deeper love. And I'm just thankful and I'm grateful that I found the rower club and that I'm a part of the rower club.
Sor Harrison, if you'd like to say
I'm
anything.
sorry. I was on mute. Amani, before we hear from Miss Harrison, Amani, tell me what school you attend?
What a Tree of Life. Tree of Life High School.
Tree of Life, and you're a junior.
Yes.
And thank you for coming and certainly sharing your experience with your with this chapter. Thank you. Ms. Harrison?
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? Oh, wonderful. Greetings to everyone, especially President Harden. We went to high school together, so it's great to be able to be on this platform and share this opportunity with you. So I am the rower advisor for our Delta Omicron Sigma Columbus chapter, and it has truly been a tremendous experience so far this year. We have done our first annual coat drive. We've developed a partnership with Alicia's Closet, where we gave these coats to all of the foster kids that they serve. And in addition to, we did a really big project with breast cancer awareness, where we did various funding and also different awareness events. So we definitely want to make sure that we really push upon community service with our girls, not only just really building upon their growth as young women, but also being able to give back to the community as well. So we truly appreciate this opportunity, and I represent, all of our girls right now. We have 11, range from 8th grade to 12th grade. So this is a tremendous opportunity. So we definitely appreciate you all.
Thank you, Ms. Harrison. And if a young lady wanted to get involved in your program, how would she do that?
Yes, definitely. So she can be able to reach out to us via on our website. It's www.columbussgrose.org, or she can send an email to dos614rowers@gmail.com.
Thank you so much. And now we will hear from Ms. Tia Goodlett.
Yes, hi, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? Okay. My name is Tia Goodlett. I am the president of Idle Nu Sigma chapter of Worthington, Ohio. I do want to say that, yes, we do have 2 chapters, but we are one Sigma, and we always work together when it comes to our national programming and events, and especially with our youth. I currently have our rower advisor on, my sower, Linda Ferguson. And then we also have another rower on the line, which actually is my daughter, rower Mia Goodlett. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to our rower advisor, Linda Ferguson.
Good evening and greetings to council members. Again, my name is Linda Ferguson. I am the Iota Nu Sigma. I was appointed in September. I am very excited in getting the girls started with the rower club. I currently have 5 rowers. I have 1 senior, 1 junior, and the rest are 8th grade and 9th grade. So I am excited. We are currently looking at vision boards on what they can do for this year. As you all know, the youth have been in a major transition in going to school via Zoom meetings, hybrid learning. And so we are just trying to come up with different and creative ways to keep the young girls engaged. Some of the community service events that we have that took place, we joined in with the Franklin County Children's Services Holiday Wish. We love to do toys for tots. However, a lot of that was driven by the pandemic. So we were able to supply gift cards to FCCS. Some of the other items that we are looking to do is our big book bag initiative. That's one of our national initiatives. And we are always trying to provide school supplies for the local schools in our area. All right. Some of the activities that our girls participate in is our painting with the butterflies. It's kind of like a fun event to keep the girls engaged and in talking. I also have charged them with coming up and brainstorming with some activities that they would like to do for themselves. As for selecting the community services, as a advisor, I don't want to always come to the girls and say, hey, do this, do that, we're going to do this. I want the girls to be empowered to show their leadership and display some of their talents in deciding what we can do for our chapter. And again, partnership is a must. Yes, we are 2 chapters, but as Madam Basilis Goodlett said, we are 1 Sigma. So thank you. And I do have my one of my rowers on. So Mia, would you like to say anything?
Yes, hi, my name is Mia Goodlett. I'm 14 and I go to Bishop Hartley High School. I have been a part of Iota Nu Sigma Rower Club for 3 years now. And one of the reasons I joined is because it was a great way to meet new people and help you prepare for college and different life skills. And it helped me a lot to be more involved with the community as well.
Thank you.
And Mia, thank you for being here and certainly sharing with my council colleagues as well as the community the importance of being a rower and being a member of the Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated. I just want to say again, thank you to Dr. Black, Ms. Harrison, Ms. Goodlett, and Ms. Ferguson for the work that you're doing with our girls. It is so important. And again, as I mentioned, with our study for 2 years, the Commission on Black Girls, organizations like your own that you're involved in are certainly important to us, helping to enhance our girls' quality of life. So thank you very much. And you'll be getting your resolutions in the mail from us since we are, of course, virtual. But I just appreciate everything that you're doing. So congratulations and keep up the good work. Thank you.
Yeah.
I also have just a couple of announcements. I'm going to also, before I mention the one, I'm going to ask Edward Johnson just to give us a COVID-19 update, please. The vaccination update.
Thank you, Chair Tyson and President Harden and members of council. I know it's been a while since we've been together, and I believe in that time we've been able to start offering COVID-19 vaccinations here at Columbus Public Health. Columbus Public Health does have a limited amount of COVID-19 vaccine doses, and we will continue to schedule eligible individuals from Columbus and Worthington in Phase 1A and Phase 1B, so currently those over 75 years of age, as the vaccine becomes available. Currently, registration closes when all available slots are full and until more vaccine is received. We also encourage all eligible residents to check to see if their primary care providers, hospital systems, or local retail pharmacies have vaccine and sign up if that is a more convenient option for them. And that information can also be found on the state's website. Additionally, if you live in Columbus or Franklin County and you have one of the eligible conditions as determined by the Ohio Department of Health, these are usually congenital health issues that individuals deal with, and you're under the care of the Franklin County Board of Developmental Disabilities, we encourage you to contact FCBDD at 614-475-6440 about getting vaccinated for COVID-19. Those individuals with those qualifying conditions who are not under the care of the Board of Developmental Disability will be eligible for vaccination beginning February 15th.
Thank you, Edward, for sharing that with us. And we certainly want to encourage individuals from our community to get the vaccine and make sure that we're focusing. I know through Dr. Mashika Roberts, she was on MSNBC yesterday, that we want to make sure that individuals, certainly from our Black and Brown communities, are certainly take advantage of getting the vaccine. The other announcement I just want to make is that beginning on Tuesday, February 2nd, as part of our Black Girls Soar, the work that we have been working on through our Black Girls during COVID, we will now have a 4-episode television show, and it begins February the 2nd. And the first episode is called Black Girls Soar, a check-in on the COVID edition. And then you will have the second episode is Black Girls Self-Care Matters. The third will be It's Time to Delete Cyberbullying. And then we'll have a Black Girls Soar season finale, just highlighting what our girls 11 to 22 are doing during this time of COVID and how they're moving forward. And the last announcement I just want to make is I just want, again, that in today's agenda, in the consent, I want to just mention that resolution 006X-2021. I want to honor and recognize and celebrate the life and the service of Mr. Gregory Jefferson, who was the president and CEO of the Community for New Direction, which is a nonprofit that certainly has done a lot around in this community in regards to behavioral health, working with our young people to in prevention of substance abuse. And he was just a tremendous leader in helping young people to live successful lives by taking them on college tours, as well as running just a significant nonprofit helping our young people. So I want to extend our sincere condolences to his family and friends on the occasion of his passing on Thursday, January the 7th. So if you could just take a moment of silence to recognize the work of Mr. Gregory Jefferson, please. Thank you. That's all I have in my committee this evening.
Thank you, Councilmember Tyson. I have 2 resolutions, and I will try to get through them as quickly as I can, but they're both really important, so we want to go ahead and bring them both forward this evening. The first is Resolution 5X-2021. It's to recognize and celebrate Moody Nolan on being awarded the 2021 AIA Architectural Firm of the Year. The annual AIA Architectural Firm Award is the highest honor that this organization bestows on architecture practices. Moody Nolan is not only the first Ohio firm to receive the award, but it's the first Black firm to receive the award. Moody Nolan has been doing tremendous work in our city and around the country, really, for years. We know that they view their work as a way to encourage architecture careers in diverse communities. That ethos is made clear in projects such as the Martin Luther King Library. They also, I know, and they don't talk about it much, but they do amazing community service projects, gifting a house a year, I think, to different communities. We are joined this evening with my friend, the CEO of Moody Nolan, Jonathan Moody. I'm going to turn it over to you to say a little bit about this award. We are so proud of your company for earning this award.
Thank you, Council President Harden. Thank you, everyone. I have had a hard time putting it into words since the beginning, or since it was announced, or since they told us that we couldn't tell, but we could tell at a certain time. I'm told from other people who were on the call that there was a lot of emotional outbursts, and I tell people, I'm like, I have no idea what I said, but I afterwards, with some time to reflect, I think one of the things that was exciting after the year that we all had last year I said to our staff, I said to everybody, and I would like to bring it forward to this community so that you know that I said that this is an us award. This is a firm award, and this is a career and legacy award, and not an individual or kind of singular, person award. And I think that this award is a reflection or acknowledgement of, the opportunity we've had to serve this community, to serve all of you in all the different various efforts, and to receive, such an honor, in the entire history of American architecture. We're the 58th firm to be fortunate to receive the award, for what it means for my father's legacy and what it means for the future of the significance of the types of work, libraries, affordable housing, community centers, schools in this community. Is to get that acknowledgement was something that, I can't explain what it means. I'm just truly honored to be able to represent our firm here tonight and, from here on. But you all, everybody on this call, everybody involved should know that this is a reflection of you all and the acknowledgement of how important the work we do in our community is.
We are very, very proud of you, Jonathan, and of the company that your family has built here in Columbus. You represent us well. If there are no questions or comments from my colleagues, I want to show everyone, this is the resolution that John Moody will get for Moody Nolan. Again, congratulations. And if there are no comments, I move for adoption.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Brown, Dorans, favor, Remy Tyson, President Harden.
Adopted. Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. My second resolution tonight is 11X-2021. It's to celebrate the life, legacy, and service of Ms. Danette Palmore and extend our deepest condolences to her family. Ms. Danny grew up on the south side of Columbus and is a proud graduate of South High School. After college, Danny moved through the ranks of the Ohio House of Representatives and joined Lieutenant Governor Richard Celeste's office. In 1988, Danny served as the National Deputy Director for Jesse Jackson's historic presidential campaign. During the 1990s, Danny's interests focused on local and statewide races, including those of Senator John Glenn, Governor Ted Strickland, and our own Columbus Mayor Michael B. Coleman. Danny was also fashionable, and she shared this passion through her Short North boutique, Savvy on a Shoestring. Miss Danny Palmer was a mentor to me and so many others. We are truly sorry to see her leave us, but she has inspired so many young people, so many people who are in public service today. Before turning the floor over to my colleagues, we have Mayor Michael Coleman here to say a few words about Ms. Danny Palmer. Mayor. You're unmuted now.
Okay. All right.
There you
go. President Hardin, members of council, this is a very tough thing to talk about because as I talk to you now, I would never have believed that Danny would be among the first to go of our group. You see, because she was so active and alive and always doing something, full of life, and we buried her today. And the truth is that Danny is very much a part of Black history in Columbus and the nation. She helped and led the Jesse Jackson campaign. And I often tell people there would be no Barack Obama unless there was first a Jesse Jackson. She led the campaigns of others, including my campaigns over the years, Dick Celeste, Ted Strickland, and many others. Danny was a community person. She cared about the community. She cared about the direction of the community and policy and engagement. And and she touched so many lives in the process. Her daughter, Erica Clerk, is now the head of the Adam H. Worked in City Hall for many years. And you all know Danny. All of us know Danny. She made an impact. We love her. We miss her. And on behalf of the community, her family, I thank you for this acknowledgement because she is certainly deserving. And we'll all see her again at some point in heaven. And she'll be moving and grooving and putting us all to work up there too when it's time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for, thank you for coming before us. We know the role that Danny played in your life and how close you were in representing the family. Our thoughts are with Erica and all of her family. Do any of my colleagues have any comments or want to say anything? If not, Councilmember Remy.
Thank you, Council President Harden. I was looking back through some emails, many emails that I had with Danny over the last decade, working on things such as recycling or working on the CMAX line, which was something that she had a big thing to do with. And of course, being president of Northland, we worked very closely on the public and community engagement piece of that. And she was always full of, encouragement, full of life, full of she was just great to be around. And, for those of us that were blessed to have had a relationship with her and work with her, my life's a better life because of it. And I know that many others would agree. She just was a phenomenal person and she's sorely missed. And certainly our thoughts and prayers are with Erica Clark Jones and her family. And we are looking forward to the day we meet up again. And thank you for the resolution.
Thank you, Councilmember Tyson.
Thank you, President Harden. I'll just say that Danny was so full of life and cared so much for this community and certainly made an impact on so many people's lives. When I think about life, I think that we are all here to serve. And if you're lucky enough to be able to serve in a capacity that you thoroughly enjoy, that you're walking in your destiny, which I truly believe Danny was, what an honor and a privilege that has. So I thank her for her life of service to this community and all the people that she impacted. But I also want to give my, sincerest condolences to Erica and her family. When you think about individuals that Erica certainly was able to be born into a family, to a mom that cares so much about service, and Erica has certainly taken on that mantle and continuing to move that forward. So my sincere condolences, and thank you for this resolution.
Thank you so much. With that, I move for adoption.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Brown, Dorans, favor Remy Tyson, President Harden.
Rest well, Miss Danny. I also want to acknowledge City Hall is a family. And so when one of us grieves, we all grieve. And so I want to acknowledge the loss of our auditor, Ms. Megan Kilgore's mother, who passed as well. We are keeping you in our prayers, and we are here for you if you need anything. The past 12 months have been tremendously difficult on us all, none more so than the families of Casey Goodson Jr. and Andre Hill. I'm happy that today Andre's Law is on for first reading. Andre's Law aims to ensure officers utilize body cameras correctly and render aid when needed. We've been in contact with Attorney Ben Crump on behalf of the family, and we look forward to moving Andre's Law forward for passage as early as next week. Before starting with the agenda, I'd like to read the most current COVID numbers, as we do at every council meeting over the last year. As of today, there have been 530 deaths in the city of Columbus due to COVID-19. That's 8 more of our residents who have lost their lives since our last meeting. And finally, on really happy news, I kind of already did this with President Pro Tem. I want to welcome back President Pro Tem and Councilmember Dorans. What I was saying about this building being a family, I mean it, and our family has grown over the last several weeks, and we are very, very excited. So we can't wait to see our newest members of well, we kind of do see our newest member of the family. She is adorable. Welcome to the team. With that, are there any comments by our elected officials, the auditor, the city attorney's office, or I don't see anybody from the judge's office? Are there any requests by members of council for the removal of an ordinance or resolution from the consent action of the agenda? Seeing none, may we now have a motion to waive the reading of titles of 30-day legislation by the city clerk?
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Brown, Dorans, favor, Remy Tyson, President Harden.
Thank you. Will the clerk now read into the record the ordinance numbers of 30-day legislation on tonight's agenda?
Finance Committee ordinances 2 and 97-2021. Public Utilities Committee ordinance 2835, 2809, 2988, 2997-2020, and ordinances 36, 37, 38, 58, 79, 95, and 110-2021. Public Service and Transportation Committee ordinance 2970-2020. Criminal Justice and Judiciary Committee ordinance 2981-2020. Rules and Reference Committee ordinance 196-2021.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I don't believe that we have any speakers on this portion of the agenda. The following ordinance appear on our agenda as consent action. Will the clerk now read those ordinance numbers into the record?
Resolution 6X-2021, 208X, and 2X-2021. Finance Committee ordinances 8 and 9-2021. Recreation and Parks Committee ordinance 103, 132, and 138-2021. Public Safety Committee ordinance 2782-2020, and ordinances 65, 66, and 100-2021. Public Utilities Committee ordinance 3001-2020, and ordinances 21 and 22-2021. Technology Committee ordinance 5-2021. Public Service and Transportation Committee ordinances 2896, 2920, 2922, 2986, 2989, 3003-2020, and ordinances 3, 6, 16, 29, and 32-2021. Housing Committee ordinances 17, 18, 19, 25, 50, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, and 99-2021. Criminal Justice and Judiciary Committee ordinances 119, 120-2021. Economic Development Committee ordinances 123 and 124-2021. Administration Committee ordinances 34, 48, 52, 54, and 98-2021. Health and Human Services Committee ordinance 13, 76, and 116-2021, and appointments from the Mayor's Office numbered A0152-2020 and A0001, 2, 3, 4, and 5-2021.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I don't believe we have any speakers on the consent portion either. Are there any questions or comments from my colleagues? Seeing none, may I have a motion of approval for these items designated as consent?
I move for passage by voice.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Ms. Brown?
Yes, with the exception of 99-2021, on which I'm abstaining.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Dorans?
Yes.
Ms. Faber,
Yes.
Mr. Remy,
Yes.
Ms. Tyson,
Yes, with the exception of 0138-2021 and 0013-2021, on which I am abstaining.
and President Hart.
Yes, ordinance is passed. We will now proceed with the second reading of 30-day tabled and emergency legislation. The first committee to come before council is the Finance Committee. That committee is chaired by President Pro Tem, but for the first ordinance, I believe Councilmember Tyson will read. Councilmember Tyson, the floor is yours. Councilmember, I think you're still on mute.
Thank you. I have ordinance number 0001-2021. And it is to authorize the appropriation and expenditure of $1,426,368.80 of the fiscal year 2020 Community Development Block Grant Coronavirus Relief Funds from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development for the Department of Finance and Management, and to authorize the Director of Finance and Management to enter into an agreement with Impact Community Action for the administration of the city's emergency financial assistance program and to declare an emergency. The City of Columbus received an award from the U.S. Department of HUD for CDBG CV program funds in the amount of $4,388,525 to prepare for and respond to the coronavirus pandemic. HUD has issued guidance regarding the use of CDBG CV funds for the emergency financial assistance to alleviate financial pressure for the City of Columbus to low to moderate income households, and to include mortgage, rental, and utility payments made on behalf of the eligible residents and prevent evictions and homelessness. The Director of Finance and Management intends to enter into a written agreement with Impact Community Action in the amount of $1,426,368.80 for the period of January 1 of 2021 through September 30th of 2022 to administer the CDBG CV Emergency Financial Assistance Program for eligible Columbus residents. If there are no questions or comments, I move for passage by voice vote.
Is there a second?
Second.
Please call the roll by voice.
Ms. Brown,
Abstain.
Mr. Brown,
Yes.
Mr. Dorrance,
Yes.
Ms. Faber,
Yes.
Mr. Remy,
Yes.
Ms. Tyson,
Yes.
President Hart.
Yes, ordinance passed.
Thank you. And now I'd like to turn this committee over to the chair, President Pro Tem Elizabeth Brown.
Thank you so much, Council Member. Next in Finance, we have Ordinance 0007-2021 to authorize the Director of Finance and Management to associate all general budget reservations resulting from this ordinance and to establish purchase orders with the appropriate universal term contract purchase agreement for automotive parts for the Fleet Management Division, to authorize the expenditure of $4,500,000 from the Fleet Management Operating Fund, and to declare an emergency. The Fleet Management Division maintains approximately 6,000 city vehicles, which require more than 40,000 work orders, with more than 400 vendors annually to keep operational. This funding is in line with the amount the city has spent on automotive parts in previous years, which fluctuates based on the amount of work that is required in a given year. This ordinance is contingent upon the passage of the 2021 operating budget. An emergency action is being considered to prevent an interruption in the supply of needed parts. Are there any questions from colleagues? Seeing none,
Second.
Please call the roll.
Brown, Dorrance, Faber, Remy, Tyson, President Hart.
Passed.
Next, we have Ordinance 10-2021 to authorize the Director of Finance and Management to associate all general budget reservations resulting from this ordinance and to establish purchase orders with the appropriate universal term contract purchase agreement for fuel on behalf of the Fleet Management Division, to authorize the expenditure of $2,500,000 from the Fleet Management Operating Fund and to declare an emergency. Purchase orders for the city's fuel needs in 2021 will be issued from universal term contracts previously established with Likens Oil for unleaded and ethanol fuel, Benchmark Biodiesel for biodiesel, and Mansfield Oil for diesel. The Fleet Management Division budgeted $8.4 million for fuel purchases in 2021 for the city's 6,000 vehicles. Further ordinances will be considered later in the year as additional fuel purchases become necessary. This ordinance is contingent also on the passage of the 21 operating budget, and emergency action is being considered so that supply of fuel for the vehicles is uninterrupted. Any questions? Seeing none, I move for passage.
Second.
Please call the row.
Brown, Dorans, favor, Remy Tyson, President Harden.
Passed.
Next, we have ordinance 11-2021 to authorize the Director of Finance and Management to associate all general budget reservations resulting from this ordinance and to establish purchase orders with the appropriate universal term contract purchase agreements for fuel and fueling services on behalf of the Fleet Management Division, to authorize the expenditure of $2,100,000 from the Fleet Management Operating Fund and to declare an emergency. This authorization is specifically for purchases of fuel by individual vehicles through the services provided by WEX Bank. Purchasing fuel in this way is primarily used by Division of Police patrol cars. Emergency actions being considered to ensure uninterrupted availability of fueling services for vehicles. And it's also contingent on the passage of the 21 operating budget. Any questions? Seeing none, I move for passage.
Second.
Please call the row.
Brown, Dorans, favor, Remy Tyson, President Harden.
Passed.
Next is ordinance 12-2021 to authorize the appropriation and transfer of $1,744,169.25 of cash assets from the Neighborhood Stabilization Program 2 to the Community Development Block Grant and to declare an emergency. Columbus maintains a cash balance for program income received through the Neighborhood Stabilization Program 2 grant program. The city intends to close out the NSP2 grant with U.S. Department of HUD and to transfer the remaining program income balance to the Community Development Block Grant Program to fund CDBG eligible activities. The ordinance authorizes the appropriation of funds from the NSP2 grant and transfers them to the CDBG program. Emergency actions being considered so that financial transactions can be posted as soon as possible to keep the city's accounting system as accurate and updated as we can. Any questions from colleagues? Seeing none, I move for passage.
Second.
Please call the row.
Brown, Dorans, favor, Remy Tyson, President Harden.
Passed.
I have a couple more in finance, but the next one is actually, I'm going to turn it back over to Vice Chair Tyson.
Thank you. Oops. It's ordinance 78-2021. It is to authorize the Director of the Department of Finance and Management to enter into a contract with the Greater Columbus Arts Council Incorporated for the purpose of fostering and sustaining arts and cultural services that enrich the Columbus community, and to authorize the expenditure of $3,696,000 from the Hotel Motel Excise Tax Fund in accordance with Section 371.02C of the Columbus City Code and to declare an emergency. This is an ordinance that we have passed every year that supports arts and culture in our community. And again, the city ought to provide the Department of Finance and Management the 2021 estimated estimate for the hotel motel tax. And in 2021, the portion of the hotel motel excise tax proceeds budgeted for cultural services are projected to be $3,811,000, of which the Greater Columbus Arts Council, known as GCAC, will be provided 97% of of those funds, and that's $3,696,000. The funds will be used to administer a variety of art and culture programs and grants. The balance of the hotel motel excise tax projected receipts, $115,000, will be reserved for the cultural arts programs and services contracted under the Columbus Recreation and Parks Department. And many of those are for different events that happen in our communities. If there are no other questions or comments regarding this particular ordinance, I move for passage by voice, and I call for a voice vote.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Ms. Brown?
Abstain.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Dorrance?
Yes.
Ms. Favor?
Yes.
Mr. Remy?
Yes.
Ms. Tyson?
Yes.
President Harden?
Yes, ordinance passed.
Thank you. And now I will turn the committee back over to its chair, President Pro Tem Elizabeth Brown.
Thank you, council member. Next, we have ordinance 101-2021 to appropriate and authorize the city auditor to transfer $3,968,643.50 from the Special Income Tax Fund to the Franklin County Convention Facilities Authority Fund for the purpose of providing secondary funding in the event that Franklin County Convention Facilities Authority cannot meet its debt obligations and to declare an emergency. In 2020, the CFA fund refunded outstanding debt obligations that reduced the city's appropriation obligations for 2021. The actual transfer of these funds will occur only if the CFA is unable to meet its debt obligations as outlined in its lease with the city. The city provides 50% of this backing, while Franklin County is responsible for the other 50%. Since 1990, no such payments have been needed, and it is not anticipated they will be needed this year. Emergency action is being considered so that the financial transactions can be posted as soon as possible to keep the city's accounting system accurate and updated. Any questions? Seeing none, I move for passage.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Brown, Dorrance, Favor, Remy, Tyson, President Harden?
Passed.
Thank you. Next is ordinance 102-2021 to appropriate and expend up to $7,039,362.50 within the Special Income Tax Fund for reimbursement to the River South Authority to make lease payments, to appropriate and expend up to $1,846,250 within the Special Income Tax Fund to the River South Authority to make lease payments and to declare an emergency. The River South Authority issued bonds in 2004 and 2005 to purchase and rehabilitate the former downtown Lazarus store. Refunding bonds were also issued in 2012 and 2014. The city entered into a series of lease payments with River South in 2004, 2005, 2012, and 2014, which require the city to make lease payments to the River South Authority in annual amounts equal to the bond service charges, which is the $7 million amount in this ordinance. River South Authority also issued bonds in 2016 to construct an underground parking garage and park located at COSI. The city entered into a lease agreement with River South in 2016 that calls for the city to make lease payments to River South in annual amounts equal to the bond service charges, and that is the $1.8 million amount in this ordinance. Emergency actions being considered so that the financial transactions can be posted as soon as possible and keep our system accurate and updated. Are there any questions from colleagues? Seeing none, move for passage.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Brown, Dorrance, Favor, Remy, Tyson, President Harden?
Passed.
Thank you. And my last ordinance in the finance is one we're really excited about, Ordinance 162-2021, to authorize Columbus City Council to enter into a grant agreement with Legal Aid Society of Columbus in support of the Financial Navigator Program, to authorize an appropriation and an expenditure within the Neighborhood Initiative Subfund, and to declare an emergency. Clerk Levins is going to help me out by putting some slides on the screen, because I know I would mess it up.
Actually, it'll be me, Elizabeth Brown. Councilmember Brown, it'll be Angie, so just let us know when to move through them.
Perfect.
Thank
you. Last September, the city partnered with Legal Aid Society of Columbus to launch a financial navigator pilot program utilizing grant funds from the Cities for Financial Empowerment Fund. The program offers free guidance to address financial concerns and connects individuals to available federal, state, and local resources. I think you can move ahead, Miss Angie. Prior to the COVID-19 health and economic crisis, we knew that 1 in 4 women were financially insecure in Columbus, with women of color and Black women in particular disproportionately struggling. And we know that these same women and families who least could afford disruptions in their lives have been hit the hardest by COVID-19. In almost all cases, they were hit first and hit worst by the economic fallout of the pandemic. These families need support, and the Financial Navigator program is one of the ways we are addressing the need. Since the program began, 826 residents have completed a session with the Navigator, and 3,352 referrals to nonprofit programs have been made. The most frequently discussed resources during these sessions are rental assistance, utility assistance, food assistance, and employment assistance, the basic needs that every family needs to thrive. As we work to create a broad-based and equitable recovery from the COVID-19 crisis for our entire city, the Financial Navigator program is on the front lines helping families meet basic needs. And that's why I'm proud that we are extending these financial navigation services this evening through this ordinance. We still have so much work to do. And as we move forward, my focus will continue to be on leveling the playing field for every family in our city, because every family matters. And because when every family thrives, we truly all do better. Emergency actions being considered to allow Legal Aid of Columbus to continue providing this public service without interruption. And before I hand things back to President Hardin, I want to highlight how to connect to the Financial Navigator program, which if you could advance the slides, I didn't do a very good job of cueing you, Miss Angie, but they should be visible on the screen. You can fill out a form online by going to columbus.gov/financial navigator, or you can call 211 and select option 4. A financial navigator will call back within 48 hours of completing one of those options so that you can get the help you need. Please utilize this resource if you need it, and please share with your friends and families who may need it as well. We're in a unique time for so many families, and it's up to the city to help marshal our resources and the resources that exist out there for the community to help families get pointed in the right direction. With that, are there any questions or comments from colleagues? Hearing none, I move for passage.
Second, thank you.
Please call the row.
Brown, Dorans, favor, Remy Tyson. President Harden.
Passed.
Great, thank you, President Hardin. Back to you, that's all I have.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The next committee to come before council is the Public Safety Committee, and that committee is chaired by Councilmember Mitch Brown. Councilmember, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Council President. Tonight I have ordinance 44 2021 to authorize and direct the Finance and Management Director to associate all general budget reservations resulting from this ordinance with the appropriate universal term contract purchase, City of Columbus, page 1, printed on 1/22/2021, file number 0044/2021, agreements with Life Assist Inc., Boundtree Medical, LLC, Zoll Medical Corporation, and Teleflex, LLC, for the purchase of EMS, pharmaceuticals, and miscellaneous medical supplies for the Department of Public Safety, Division of Fire, to authorize the expenditure of $1,725,555 from the general fund and to declare an emergency. This is an annual ordinance for replacement of pharmaceuticals and medical supplies for our fire division. If there are no comments, I move for passage.
Second.
Please call the row.
Brown, Dorans, favor, Remy Tyson. President Harden.
Passed.
Also this evening, I have 0188 2021 to authorize an appropriation within the Public Safety Initiative Subfund for the purpose of acquiring and deploying a police early warning system and to declare an emergency. However, I move to amend this ordinance to a 30-day legislation and ask for a vote, please.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember. Please call the row.
Brown, Dorans, favor, Remy Tyson, President Harden.
Amended.
Thank you, Council President. I will be addressing this legislation next week, and that's all I have this evening, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The next committee to come before council is the Public Utilities Committee. That committee is chaired by Councilmember Dorans. Councilmember, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Council President Harden. Tonight in the Public Utilities Committee, I have ordinance number 2834-2020 to authorize the Director of Public Utilities to enter into a construction contract with 2K General Company for security enhancements 910 Dublin Road project, to authorize the appropriation and transfer of $1,140,800 from the Water Sewer Reserve Fund to the Water General Obligations Bond Fund, to authorize an appropriation of expenditure of up to $1,140,800 from the Water General Obligation Bond Fund to provide for the payment of prevailing wage services to the Department of Public Services for the Division of Water, and to declare an emergency. The 910 Dublin Road facility is home to the offices of the Director of Public Utilities, Division of Water Administrator, Water Distribution Control Center, and the Water Quality Assurance Lab, as well as other engineering and administrative and customer services offices for the department. All of these entities are responsible for the treatment and distribution of our drinking water, which we all know is incredibly vital to keep safe. This project will provide updated and additional security to protect one of our city's most important resources. Do my colleagues have any questions or comments? Seeing none, I move for passage.
Is there a second? Please call the roll.
Brown, Dorans, favor, Remy Tyson, President Harden.
Passed.
Thank you, Council President. Next, I have ordinance number 2991-2020 to authorize the Director of Public Utilities to enter in a construction contract with General Temperature Control, Inc. for the Southerly Wastewater Treatment Plant, building and heat improvements, underground storage tank removal project, to authorize the appropriation and transfer of $5,486,800 from the Sanitary Sewer Reserve Fund to the Ohio Water Development Loan Fund, to authorize the appropriation and transfer and expenditure of $5,486,800 from the Ohio Water Development Loan Fund, to authorize an expenditure of up to $2,000 for prevailing wages services to the Department of Public Services within the Sanitary General Obligation Voted Bond Fund, to amend the 2020 capital improvement budget, and to declare an emergency. This project will remove three fuel oil underground storage tanks at the Southerly Wastewater Treatment Plant in order to update effective heating systems and eliminate reliance on fuel oil, while bringing us into compliance with the Well Fuel Protection Chapter of the Columbus City Code. Do any of my colleagues have any questions or comments? Seeing none, I move for passage.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Brown, Dorans, favor, Remy Tyson, President Harden.
Passed.
Thank you. Next, I have ordinance number 3000-2020 to authorize the Director of Public Utilities to enter into a construction contract with Elford Inc. for the Dana G. Buck Reinhardt Public Utilities Complex exterior site improvement projects, to authorize the appropriation transfer of $5,750,000 to the Water Sewer Reserve Fund to the Water General Obligations Bond Fund, to authorize a transfer of $336,922.59 from the Water General Obligation Bond Fund, to authorize the appropriation and expenditure of up to $6,086,922.59 from the Water General Obligation Bond Fund, to provide for the payment of prevailing wage services, Department of Public Service for the Division of Water, and to declare an emergency. The goal of this project is to improve the exterior site conditions at the Buck Reinhardt Public Utilities Complex, Several regulatory compliance issues will be corrected, including improvements to the fuel island and construction of a dedicated truck washout facility. It will also include a replacement of large portions of the parking lot. Do any of my colleagues have any questions or comments? Seeing none, I move for passage.
Second.
Please call the row.
Brown, Dorans, favor, Remy Tyson, President Harden.
Passed.
Thank you. Last ordinance in Public Utilities Committee is 0061-2021 to authorize the Director of Public Utilities to enter into a construction contract with Complete General Construction, Inc. for the Brinsfield Area Sanitary System Repair Project, to authorize the appropriation and transfer of $1,219,047.60 from the Sanitary Sewer Reserve Fund to the Ohio Water Development Loan Fund, to authorize the appropriation of expenditure of $1,219,047.60 from the Ohio Water Development Loan Fund, to authorize an expenditure of up to $2,000 for prevailing wage services, Department of Public Services, within the Sanitary and General Obligation Voted Bond Fund, and to declare an emergency. The work for this project consists of removing and replacing approximately 353 feet of existing sanitary sewer, manholes, and bedding in the area of the Brimfield Beechcroft Roads, Tamarack Boulevard, and Forest Village Lane up near the Northland area. The current sanitary sewer system at this location has a snag that is costing $15,000 annually to continually fix and maintain by the department. This cost would be eliminated as a result of the successful completion of this project. Do any of my colleagues have any questions or comments? Seeing none, I move for passage.
Second.
Please call the row.
Brown, Dorans, favor, Remy Tyson, President Harden.
Passed.
Thank you. Council President, with your permission, I'd like to move to ordinance number 0190-2021 and the Rules and Reference Committee on page 17 of our agenda.
Please.
Thank you, sir. I have in Rules and Reference ordinance number 0190-2020 to amend section 377.02 of the Columbus City Codes to extend the deadline by which the initial members of the Wage Theft Prevention and Enforcement Commission may be appointed and seated, to amend section 377.12 of the Columbus City Codes to clarify that tax increment financing agreements which pledge tax increment financing services payments for the service of debt will not be subject to termination based upon a violation of Chapter 377 of Columbus City Code, and to declare an emergency. On September 21st, 2020, City Council passed Ordinance 1802-2020, creating a new chapter of the Columbus City Code, Chapter 377, Wage Theft Prevention and Enforcement. Chapter 377 is designed to ensure that entities who commit wage theft or payroll fraud do not do business with or receive a benefit from contracts with the City of Columbus. Based off continued community feedback, it's become clear that two immediate changes need to be made tonight. The first is updating the date to appoint wage theft commissioners. The second is adjusting language surrounding tax increment financing, or TIFs. Currently, the Chapter 377 provides that all initial appointments of the members of the Wage Theft Prevention Commission shall occur no later than January 15th, 2021. Obviously, we're past January 15th, 2021. Due to unforeseen events, Council did not meet until here tonight, which is past that deadline for that initial appointment. Therefore, it's necessary for us to amend the chapter to allow additional time for these members of the Wage Theft Prevention Enforcement Commission to be appointed and seated to April 1st. And no, that's not an April 1st joke, 2021. It's also necessary to amend section 377.12 to make clear that TIF agreements that pledge service payments for the repayment of bonds or other financing will not be subject to termination based on a violation of Chapter 377. Finally, I'm requesting to pass an emergency action in order to ensure the city has adequate time to appoint these members and ensure that we comply with these sections. As with any amendments that occur to original ordinance, are all done preventing the practice of wage theft here in our community, which I know is one of my top priorities, one of Council's top priorities as well. We anticipate additional legislation likely next month and a couple of other amendments, but these are the ones that we've decided to bring forth tonight to make sure that these adjustments are being made as soon as possible. Thank you, President Harden. Would you like me to move, or would you like to, President Harden? With that, I'd move for passage.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Brown, Dorans, favor, Remy Tyson, President Harden.
Passed.
Thank you, Council President. That is all I have in my committee and rules and reference.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The next committee to come before council is the Public Service and Transportation Committee. That committee is chaired by Councilmember Favor. Councilmember, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Council President Harden. Tonight in Public Service and Transportation, we have ordinance number 2925-2020 to authorize the Director of Public Service to execute agreements with and accept funding from the Ohio Department of Transportation relative to the FRA Columbus PSIP fiscal year 2021 PID 1113-293 project, and to declare an emergency. The Department of Public Service is accepting funding up to $1,737,687 from the Ohio Department of Transportation to perform work as part of the Pedestrian Safety Improvement Program. The project will result in the reconstruction of designated intersections, including striping crosswalks, installing pedestrian signal infrastructures, reconstructing curb ramps, and constructing new curb extensions, curb ramps, and median refuge islands. These pedestrian safety improvements will occur at various locations within the city of Columbus. Are there any questions or comments by my colleagues? Seeing none, I move for passage.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Brown, Dorans, favor, Remy Tyson, President Harden.
Passed.
Thank you. Up next, we have ordinance 0031-2021 to appropriate $9,700,000 from the unappropriated balance of the Municipal Motor Vehicle License Tax Fund, Fund 2266, for anticipated 2021 operating expenditures for the Department of Public Service, Divisions of Infrastructure Management and Traffic Management, and to declare an emergency. This ordinance represents the annual appropriation of funds within the Municipal Motor Vehicle License Tax Fund. The funds will be utilized for operating expenses within Divisions of Infrastructure Management and Traffic Management. Are there any questions or comments by my colleagues? Seeing none, I move for passage.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Brown, Dorans, favor, Remy Tyson, President Harden.
Passed.
Thank you. Up next, we have ordinance 0047-2021 to authorize the city auditor to appropriate funds within the Gowdy TIF, the Crossroads TIF, and the Transportation Grants Fund to authorize transfer of cash from the Gowdy TIF Debt Service Fund to the Gowdy TIF Capital Projects Fund, to authorize the transfer of cash and appropriation between projects within the Crossroads TIF Fund, to authorize the Director of the Department of Public Service to enter into a construction guaranteed maximum reimbursement agreement with White Castle Management Company, to authorize the expenditure of up to $1,097,806.68 from the Gowdy TIF, the Crosswoods TIF, and the Transportation Grants Fund, and to declare an emergency. This project will culminate in the construction of a new public roadway and other public infrastructure improvements, including intersection improvements at West Goodell Street, Reach Boulevard, and State Route 315, and additional turn lanes to the State Route 315 exit ramps at that intersection. Are there any questions or comments by my colleagues? Seeing none, I move for passage.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Brown, Dorans, favor, Remy Tyson, President Harden.
Passed.
Thank you. President Harden, may I move on to criminal justice and judiciary? Thank you. And up in criminal justice and judiciary, we have ordinance number 2980-2020 to authorize the appropriation of $4,094,077 from the 2021 unappropriated balances of the Franklin County Municipal Court Special Funds to the Franklin County Municipal Court for all anticipated expenses and to declare an emergency. This ordinance appropriates the Franklin County Municipal Court's 2021 special funds to include support for court-ordered drug and alcohol treatment centers, the Security Fund, the Dispute Resolution Fund, the Home Incarceration Fund, the Probation Fund, the Specialized Dockets Fund, the Self-Help Assisted Civil Fund, and the Environmental Fund. Are there any questions or comments by my colleagues? Seeing none, I move for passage.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Brown, Dorans, favor, Remy Tyson, President Harden.
Passed.
Thank you. And last in criminal justice, we have ordinance 165-2021 to authorize and direct Columbus City Council to accept $500,000 grant from the Ohio State University Alliance for the American Dream, a collaboration with Smith Futures to authorize the appropriation of up to $500,000 from the unappropriated balance of the General Government Grants Fund, to authorize the expenditure of $235,750, to waive the competitive bidding provisions of City Code, to authorize Columbus City Council to enter into contract with Smart Columbus LLC, and to declare an emergency. This ordinance allows City Council to accept a $500,000 grant award from the Alliance for the American Dream. This is in relation to Opportunity Port project that is being led by Councilmember Dorrance and his office. It's now my pleasure to turn this over to Councilmember Dorrance to discuss further.
Thank you, Chair Faber, and I appreciate both you and your team's work with us on this project. You all have helped us immensely with where we're at today. Columbus City Council, we have just been awarded $500,000, as Councilmember Faber mentioned, from the Ohio State University in partnership with the Alliance of the American Dream. This is in support of Council's efforts to simplify the criminal record sealing application process and expand legal support services for residents with a criminal record. This money will support building the Opportunity Port mobile app in our effort to simplify the record sealing application process, a process that we know is cumbersome for many in our community, and a process that we also know, once completed, helps raise the standard of living for those applicants that have went through the process. We've already accepted grants of $50,000 and $25,000, bringing our total tonight from this competition to $575,000. Smart Columbus LLC will serve as the administrator for this grant. A waiver of competitive bidding is requested as Smart Columbus has already been intricately involved in the development process to date, and certainly have been great partners helping to move this project forward. This ordinance is also submitted as emergency to allow the financial transaction to be posted in the city's accounting system as soon as possible. To give more of an update on our progress here tonight, I've invited Sarah Rubin, who's the Vice President of Development at the Ohio State University and a member of the leadership team of the Alliance for American Dream. Sarah, can you hear us?
I can. It's a pleasure to be with you. Council President Hardin, Chair Faber, Council Member Dorrance, other members of the Council. It's really a privilege to speak to you this evening on behalf of the Ohio State Alliance for the American Dream. The Alliance for the American Dream is a partnership between Schmidt Futures and 4 public universities, including Arizona State, University of Utah, Wisconsin at Madison, and The Ohio State University. In early 2018, Schmidt Futures reached out to the universities asking us to bring together our communities to generate big ideas to help raise the incomes of 10,000 households by 10%. Embedded in this challenge was the call for universities and communities to come together to help families achieve the American dream. In 2019, Hannah Miller from Councilmember Doran's office submitted a proposal called Opportunity Port, a platform that would democratize access to justice by digitizing the record sealing application process. Councilman Doran's team had the data, they had the leadership, and in the end, they became finalists in the Ohio State Alliance competition presented to Schmidt Futures, and they received funding for their proposal, funds you are ordaining here this evening. Opportunity Port's development is timely. We as a nation and as a city are endeavoring to right the wrongs of a legacy of systemic racism. What has been made abundantly clear is that we cannot rebuild and reinvigorate communities if we do not address underlying issues. Racist policies have resulted in vilification and over-surveillance of Black and Brown communities. The consequences that stem from an encounter with the criminal justice system exacerbate and perpetuate racial inequality. If you have a criminal record, employers will not hire you, landlords will not rent to you, and the government will not loan money to you for school. Employment, housing, and education are the building blocks of success in America, and record sealing makes it so justice-involved people can thrive, not just survive. I believe Opportunity Port will positively impact members of Columbus' justice-involved community, and it is the first of many steps towards a more equitable society. Councilmember Dorrance and Chair Faber, thank you for your leadership. To Hannah Miller, Thank you for the time and dedication you've put into this initiative. To other members of the Opportunity Port team, Alex Slaymaker, Kyle Strickland, Kathy Shear, Patrick Higgins, and Brad Griffith, thank you for lending your skills and experience. Hannah Miller, project lead for Opportunity Port, said it best during the final presentation to the Alliance for the American Dream. She said, in our positions of privilege and power, we have the responsibility to collaborate on solutions for equitable growth. I believe Opportunity Port is an example of Columbus's leadership in doing just that. Thank you all.
Thank you, Vice President Rubin, and thank you for also calling out the other folks that have been keenly involved with our initiative here, and for really shining the light on the importance of a project like this, especially in a moment like this, in not only in our community but across the country, about what this vehicle can bring to create a more equitable Columbus and a more equitable community overall. So thank you for those words, and thank you for the partnership of The Ohio State University helping to move this forward. I also just want to echo your comments. I want to thank Hannah Miller from my staff. It was probably a little over a year and a half ago when her and I sat back in my office with a whiteboard and took a couple hours to try and map out what we thought we could do on this topic. And ultimately, that very, very messy whiteboard turned into what Opportunity Port is today. And we would not be anywhere near where we are without her relentless dedication to this project, not only from my office, but council in general, because this is a policy initiative between myself, Chair Favor, and all of council recognizing that this is a vital part of how we make Columbus a more equitable place for all of our citizens. So, it's not just my office or Chair Favors, it's all of us as a council wanting to see these kinds of proposals and programs implemented. Before I throw it back to Chair Favor, do any of my colleagues have any questions or comments? Councilmember Tyson?
Thank you, Councilman Dorans. First of all, I want to thank you, Councilman Favor, for moving this initiative forward, but also Hannah Miller and your department. As council has stated last year, looking at racism as a public health crisis, this is part of that. It isn't just health, it's the health of individuals and how they are able to move forward. And so when we pass that resolution, certainly this is work that supports the work of moving our community forward, and especially for individuals that we know who are mostly Black and Brown, from the work of this body and being trained on, will be able to continue to move forward and have a better quality of life based upon this initiative. So thank you very much for working to improve the lives of individuals in this community, which again, based upon who has been generally have more criminal backgrounds are people of color. And so this will begin to change your lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Tyson. Councilmember Mitch Brown?
Councilmember Dorans, undeniably hats off to Hannah for her hard work. You and I both know the research that went into all this, and congratulations, my friend.
Thank you, sir. With that, I'd like to turn it back over to Chair Favor for passage.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Dorans. And as Councilmember Tyson, spoke about, the city and the county declaring racism to be a public health crisis last year. City Council leading into this conversation of reimagining public safety. This is what this work actually starts to look like in action when we really start talking about reform and providing an opportunity for our residents to get those job opportunities, to get those school opportunities. So I truly do, give a round of applause to you and your team. It has been an honor to work alongside you all. Looking forward to all of the work that it's going to take to keep moving the project forward. But definitely it's an exciting time, and it's the right time to be bringing this legislation and this exciting project forward. It definitely demonstrates where our commitment is on this matter. So thank you, Council Member. And with that, I move for passage.
Second.
Congratulations again, and thank you, Councilmember Dorans, and Hannah Miller again deserves a specific notice for all of her hard work. With that, please call the roll.
Brown, Dorans, Favor, Remy, Tyson, President Harden.
Passed.
Thank you, Council President Harden. That's all I have in my committee.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think it is time for us to recess for zoning. May I have a motion? I move to recess. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Brown, Dorans, favor, Remy Tyson, President Harden.
We are recessed. Councilmember Tyson, do you want to roll right into it, or? All right, let's do it. Regular meeting number 2 will now come to order. Clerk, please call the roll.
Brown, Dorans, favor, Remy Tyson, President Harden.
Regular meeting number 2 will now come to order. Can I get a motion to dispense with the reading of the journal?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Please call the roll.
Brown, Dorans, favor, Remy Tyson, President Harden.
We will now go to the zoning committee. Councilmember Tyson chairs that committee. All members serve on it. Councilmember, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Before beginning the zoning agenda, I'll briefly explain the rules of council as pertaining to speaking before council on zonings and variances. We permit 3 speakers on each side, 3 proponents, 3 opponents, and we ask that they limit their remarks to 3 minutes on each side. And we provide an opportunity for rebuttal from the applicant. On the advice of the city attorney's office, anyone who wishes to speak for or against a council variance, including staff, please must be sworn in prior to giving testimony. We do so prior to the beginning of each variance on the agenda. So the first ordinance is ordinance 42-2021 is to rezone 921 Parsons Avenue, being 0.17 acres located at the southwest corner of Parsons Avenue and Stanley Avenue, from the C5 commercial district to the C4 commercial district. The applicant is Brian Higgins. The proposed use is a mixed-use development. The city department's recommendation is approval. The Columbus Southside Commission recommendation is also approval, 11-0. If there are no questions or comments, I first move to waive second reading.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Brown, Dorans, favor, Remy Tyson, President Harden.
Waived.
Thank you, and now I move for passage.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Brown, Dorans, favor, Remy Tyson, President Harden.
Passed.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone here this evening who wishes to speak either for or against this council variance, including staff, please stand, raise your right hand, and be sworn in. I wish to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. Please answer, I will. Thank you. This ordinance is 42-2021 to grant a variance from the provisions of sections 3356.03, C4 permitted uses, 3312.29 parking space, 3312.49C minimum numbers of parking spaces required, and 3321.05A1 vision clearance of the Columbus City Codes for the property located at 921 Parsons Avenue, and to permit ground floor residential uses and reduce development standards for mixed-use development in the C4 commercial district. The applicant is Brian Higgins. The proposed use is a mixed-use development. The city's department recommendation is approval, and the Columbus Southside Area Commission's recommendation is also approval, 11-0. If there are no questions or comments, I move to waive second reading.
Second.
Please call the roll. Please call the roll. I think we're having a bit of technical difficulty. We've never lost the clerk before. We just realized she's the most important member of our council.
Oh, goodness.
Council member, if we can give her just a moment, she had to log out and log back in. She lost
Sure.
connection. Just one moment.
Sure.
Do you have any good hold music?
Sorry about that. Lost my
There we
connection.
go.
Ready for a roll call on waiving the second reading on 43-2021?
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
that correct? Okay, my apologies. Brown, Dorans, Favor, Remy, Tyson, President Harden.
Waived.
Thank you. Now move for passage.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Brown, Dorans, Favor, Remy, Tyson, President Harden.
Pass.
Thank you. The next ordinance is going to, obviously, it's going to be a variance. So anyone here this evening who wishes to speak either for or against this council variance, including staff, please stand, raise your right hand, and be sworn in. I wish to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. Please answer, I will.
I will.
Thank you. I have ordinance 92-2021 to grant a variance from the provisions of sections 3367.01 M2 manufacturing uses, 3311.28B requirements, and 3312.49 minimum numbers of parking spaces required of the Columbus City Codes for property located at 7472 Reliance Street to permit Maudry with accessory tasting room and retail sales with reduced development standards in the M2 manufacturing district. The applicant is Zen B. Maudry. The proposed use is a Maudry with accessory testing room and retail sales. The City Department's recommendation is approval, and Far North Columbus Communities Coalition recommendations also approval 9-0. If there are no questions or comments, I move to waive second reading.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Brown, Dorans, Favor, Remy, Tyson, President Harden.
Waived.
Thank you. And now move for passage.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Brown, Dorans, Favor, Remy, Tyson, President Harden.
Passed.
Thank you. That's all I have in zoning this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Seeing no further business to come before the zoning committee, I move to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Please call the roll.
Brown, Dorans, Favor, Remy, Tyson, President Harden.
Meeting is adjourned. We will reconvene meeting number 1 at 6:50.
So moved.
Second.
Please call the row.
Brown, Dorans, favor, Remy Tyson, President Harden.
Madam Clerk, the next committee to come before council is the Administration Committee. The committee is chaired by Councilmember Remy. Councilmember, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Council President Harden. It's benefit time. So tonight I have 7 items in the Administration Committee. First is ordinance number 2021, to make appropriations for the 12 months ending January 31st, 2022 for the funding of the city employee insurance programs and to declare an emergency. To maintain the employee insurance programs in accordance with the negotiated labor contracts, appropriation is necessary for the continuation of all employee benefit programs. Cost estimates for 2021 claims and administrative fees are based on 2019 and 2020 benefits fund expenditures using a 2-year average of actual city utilization, expected changes due to union negotiations, as well as input from insurance carriers and in conjunction with industry trends in actuarial services. The revenue for the 2021 benefits fund includes the 2021 department budgeted amounts, employee premium contributions, COBRA premium deposits, and prescription drug rebates. Emergency action is requested to ensure the health insurance program for city employees are able to commence as soon as possible contractually, thereby maintaining continuity of service. Director Brandon, could you provide some additional details on this ordinance?
To you, President Harden, Chairman Remy, and members of council. As mentioned, ordinance 2021 is our annual legislative appropriation of funds from the Employee Benefits Fund to cover our health insurance lines of business. This amount covers medical, which is pharmacy and prescription drugs, COBRA, tobacco cessation, and Cancer Bridge. It also covers the Ask Me Cares program, YMCA support for the Front Street Fitness Center, dental coverage, vision, life insurance, and the short-term disability coverage. The total amount projected for 2021 healthcare insurance lines is $205,692,240. And again, this is from the Employee Benefits Fund. Each vendor providing the above referenced services will have a separate contract and expenditure ordinance that are contingent upon the passage of this ordinance. Those vendors are United Healthcare, Ohio Ask Me Cares, YMCA, Delta Dental, VSP, and the Hartford Group. Thank you very much for your favorable consideration. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Thank you very much, Director. Do any of my colleagues have any questions or comments this evening? Seeing none, I move for passage.
Second.
Please call the row.
Brown, Dorans, favor, Remy Tyson, President Harden.
Passed.
Next, I have ordinance number 51, 2021, to authorize the Human Resource Director to contract with Delta Dental Plan of Ohio to provide all eligible employees dental insurance coverage from February 1st, 2021 through January 31st, 2022, to authorize the expenditure of $7,750,000 from the Employee Benefits Fund or so much thereof as may be necessary to pay the contract of said cost of said contract and to declare an emergency. Funding for dental insurance is necessary to ensure continuation of the city's dental insurance program. Insurance programs must be maintained in accordance with the negotiated labor contracts. This ordinance authorizes the Human Resources Director to enter into contract with Delta Dental Plan of Ohio for the dates mentioned above. In 2020, the Human Resources Department Health and Wellness Management, with assistance and consultation of the benefits consulting firm, bid out for dental services for city employees via RFP 015452. The city dental plan services approximately 24,000 active benefit enrolled employees, their dependents, and COBRA participants. The city currently administers the Delta Dental Plan on a self-insured basis and will continue to do so. Cost estimates for the 2021 claims and administrative fees are based on 2019 and 20 trust fund expenditures using a 2-year average of actual city utilization, expected changes due to union negotiations, as well as input from insurance carriers and from the city's employee benefits consultant. Are there any questions or comments from my colleagues this evening? Councilmember Tyson.
Thank you, Councilman Remy, and I'm sorry, I just didn't get to push my button fast enough, but I really just want to, again, I have to commend Director Brandon, the benefits consulting firm, and all individuals that have worked with her team to provide the employee benefits to our city employees. We certainly know that benefits are extremely important for individuals as they continue to work and serve the residents of our community, and we would not be able to do that without having a benefits package that is focused on continuing to on health and wellness of the employees at the City of Columbus. So I just want to say kudos to you. This is your committee, but also want to recognize Director Brandon and the administration for the benefits package that we have for each of our employees. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Tyson. Appreciate that input. Of course, it's a great team that runs the employee benefits for our entire city, the 8,600 full-time employees, and of course, so many part-time, and their families depend on the work of Director Brandon and her team. So we're very appreciative. Are there any other questions or comments about this piece of legislation? Seeing none, I move for passage.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Brown, Dorans, favor, Remy, Tyson, President Harden.
Passed.
Next, I have Ordinance 53, 2021, to authorize the Human Resources Director to enter into contract with the Hartford Life and Accident Insurance Company to provide all eligible employees short-term disability insurance coverage from February 1st, 2021 through January 31st, 2022, and to authorize the expenditure of $3,630,000 from the Employee Benefits Fund or so much thereof as may be necessary to pay the costs of said contract and to declare an emergency. Funding for the short-term disability insurance program is necessary to ensure a continuation of the program in accordance with the negotiated labor contracts. This ordinance authorizes the Human Resources Director to enter into contract with the Hartford Life and Accident Insurance Company. In 2020, the Human Resource Employee Benefits Office, with the assistance and consultation of benefits consulting firm, bid out for short-term disability services for city employees. The employee services approximately 5,500 active full-time employees. The RFP team reviewed 5 disability providers and interviewed the top 3 finalists. After careful consideration and evaluation, the Hartford Life and Accident Insurance Company was selected as being the lowest and best bid for short-term disability services for the city. Let's see. This represents year 1 of the 3-year contract. The total obligation of this contract in year 1 is $3,630,000. The breakdown of expenses is $230,000 for administrative fees and $3.4 million for claims. Are there any questions or comments from my colleagues this evening? Seeing none, I move for passage.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Brown, Dorans, favor, Remy, Tyson, President Harden.
Passed.
Next, I have Ordinance 55, 2021, to authorize the Human Resources Director to enter into contract with the Hartford Life and Accident Insurance Company to provide all eligible employees life insurance coverage from February 1st, 2021 through January 31st, 2022, and to authorize the expenditure of $1,300,000 from the Employee Benefits Fund or so much thereof as may be necessary to pay the costs of said contract and to declare an emergency. In 2020, the Human Resources Employee Benefits Office, with the assistance and consultation of the benefits consulting firm, bid out for basic life insurance services for city employees. The program services approximately 8,100 active full-time employees. The RFP team reviewed 7 life insurance providers and interviewed the top 2 finalists. After careful consideration and evaluation, the Hartford Life and Accident Insurance Company was selected as being the lowest and best bid for short-term disability services for the city. Are there any questions or comments from my colleagues this evening? Seeing none, I move for passage.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Brown, Dorans, favor, Remy, Tyson, President Harden.
Passed.
Next, I have ordinance number 57, 2021, to authorize the Human Resources Director to enter into contract with United Healthcare Insurance Company and to provide all eligible employees medical, RX, prescription, and tobacco cessation programs and eligible terminated employees with COBRA coverage from February 1st, 2021 through January 31st, 2022, to authorize the expenditure of $191,846,000 from the Employee Benefits Fund or so much thereof as may be necessary to pay the costs of said contract and to declare an emergency. The purpose of this ordinance is to authorize the Human Resources Director to enter into contract with United Healthcare Insurance Company to provide all eligible employees medical, prescription, and tobacco cessation programs, as well as eligible terminated employees with COBRA coverage. The maximum obligation liability for medical, prescription, COBRA, and tobacco cessation services is $191,846,000. Are there any questions or comments from my colleagues this evening? Seeing none, I move for passage.
Second.
Please call the row.
Brown, Dorans, favor, Remy Tyson, President Harden.
Passed.
Next, I have ordinance 59, 2021, to authorize the appropriation from January 1st, 2021 through December 31st, 2022 for the funding of the Unemployment Compensation Program, to authorize the expenditure of $1 million or so much thereof as may be necessary to declare an emergency. To maintain unemployment benefit payments in accordance with federal law, an appropriation within the Employee Benefits Fund is necessary for the continuation of payments from the Unemployment Compensation Program. To determine the amount necessary for appropriation, current utilization and anticipated claims were analyzed. Thus, an appropriation expenditure of up to $1 million or so much thereof may be necessary to pay the costs associated with the Unemployment Compensation Program. Are there any questions or comments from my colleagues this evening? Seeing none, I move for passage.
Second.
Please call the row.
Brown, Dorans, favor, Remy Tyson, President Harden.
Passed.
Finally, I have ordinance number 60, 2021, to authorize the Human Resources Director to modify and extend the contract with Vision Service Plan to provide all eligible employees vision plan administration from February 1st, 2021 through January 31st, 2022 to authorize the expenditure of $1,076,000 from the Employee Benefits Fund or so much thereof as may be necessary to pay the cost of said contract and to declare an emergency. The Vision Insurance Program was put out for RFP. However, due to an administrative oversight, the Evaluation Committee for the Vision PPO third-party administrator project lacked the requisite number of city employees. The Department of Human Resources has therefore concluded that it is in our best interest that the city cancel the project. The department will rebid the Vision PPO third-party administrator later in 2021. Therefore, a one-year extension on the current VSP Vision contract is requested. Are there any questions or comments from my colleagues this evening? Seeing none, I move for passage.
Second.
Please call the row.
Brown, Dorans, favor, Remy Tyson, President Harden.
Passed.
And that's all I have this evening in administration.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The final committee to come before council this evening is the Health and Human Services Committee. That committee is chaired by Councilmember Tyson. Councilmember, the floor is yours.
Thank you. I have ordinance number 72-2021. It is to authorize and direct the Board of Health to accept a grant from the Ohio Department of Health for the COVID-19 Enhanced Operations Grant Program in the amount of $2,216,838 to authorize the appropriation of $2,216,838 to the Health Department in the Health Department Grants Fund and to declare an emergency. This is for the entire population of the cities of Columbus and Worthington will be served by this grant. Funds will be used to pay for staff performing contact tracing, case investigation, and performing COVID-19 vaccination services in order to decrease the spread of COVID-19. An emergency action is requested to follow the financial transaction to be posted in the city's accounting system as soon as possible to bolster the emergency response to the COVID pandemic. If there are no questions or comments, I move for passage.
Second.
Please call the row.
Brown, Dorans, favor, Remy Tyson, President Harden.
Passed.
Thank you. I want to make one comment. I'll move forward. About contract tracing, and as we talked about this earlier with Dr. Roberts, is that individuals who may test positive for COVID, and then they have gone through the quarantine and no longer test positive, that just due to the vast volume of individuals that are coming through or being traced by Columbus Public Health, that they are no longer sending out letters to employers, again, to each individual who may have tested positive, but now they've tested negative. We're not seeing those letters out. I just want to share that with our viewing and listening audience. The next ordinance is 130-2021. It is to authorize and direct the Board of Health to accept a grant from the Franklin County Board of Commissioners in the amount of $2,141,146, excuse me, for the TB control program, which operates a TB clinic and provides prevention, control, and monitoring services for the community, and to authorize the appropriation of $2,141,146 from the unappropriated balance of the Health Department's grants fund, and to declare an emergency. Priority is given to activities that ensure a TB patient completes a course of therapy that is consistent with the CDC, Infectious Disease Society of America, and the American Thoracic Society treatment guidelines. The second priority is to ensure a thorough investigation is conducted to identify settings where TB transmission potentially occurred and to identify contacts at the highest risk for TB infection and disease progression. And due to the complexity of TB cases, contact investigators are even more complicated and characteristically require a more interdependent decisions. As such, the Ben Franklin TB program spends an increasing amount of time reviewing the treatment status and infectivity of each case, evaluating associated contact investigations, implementing interventions designed to mitigate further TB transmission in our community. In 2020, 819 Franklin County residents received services by the Ben Franklin TB program, and some TB program services were impacted or reduced due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And so if there are no other questions or comments, and if you want any information about our TB clinic, you please contact Maureen Murphy-Wise from the director of the Ben Franklin TB Clinic at 614-645-6518. If there are no questions or comments, I move for passage.
Second.
Please call the row.
Brown, Dorans, favor, Remy Tyson, President Harden.
Passed.
Thank you. And that concludes legislation in my committee this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Seeing no further business coming before council, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Please call the row.
Brown, Dorans, favor, Remy Tyson, President Harden.
Meeting is adjourned. We have two non-agenda speakers.